Hello, spooky crew. Our tote bag drawing is officially closed, and we just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who entered. We are so grateful for the love and the support, and we have loved reading your reviews. Missed the tote? No worries. We're still sending out high-quality vinyl stickers while supplies last. Just email us proof of your rating and review along with your mailing address to thespookydarlings@gmail.com, and we'll get one headed your way. Quick promise, your address is only for mailing the sticker. No emails, no selling info, no funny business, just spooky gratitude. Thanks again for supporting the show. You are the reason we do this.
You're listening to The Spooky Darlings, where three sisters talk about all kinds of things that interest and excite us. Today, we are bringing you our follow-up Friday, which we are pretty excited about. We have a couple of fun things to talk to you about, some listener emails, some things from the news, some sad things from the news. So, I am Emily.
I'm Haley.
And I'm Nettie.
All right, Nettie, you want to start us off?
Okay, yes. I have a little bit of a true crime update. Have either of you been following the au pair affair trial?
Yes, a little bit. Yes.
Holy cow. Do you know the story at all, Haley?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm going to give you the briefest of rundowns because this story is crazy. All right?
I've got my wine. Tell me everything.
Sometime in the last, couple of years, a woman was murdered, right? She's married. This man says that he gets a phone call from their au pair who's taking care of their children saying, there's a strange car in the driveway. I just came back because I forgot my lunch. I was on my way to the zoo and I forgot my lunch. I was taking the kid to the zoo and I saw a man run inside. So he was like, oh, I'm not far. I'll come back to the house. Don't go inside. Wait for me. This is the story, right?
Okay.
He
this
goes
sounds
in.
familiar.
He goes in, he gets the, sees the au pair and his little girl, and he's like, bring her inside, take her into the basement.
No, I do remember this.
Okay.
Go. Refresh my memory.
He goes upstairs and he sees his wife basically being in the middle of a sexual assault. So he pulls out his gun, and meanwhile, the au pair has put the girl in the basement. Her name is Juliana Marguerres or something like that. Marguerres. She's from Brazil. She follows him upstairs, and he, this is the story that was originally given to the police. He yells, call the police. And he, meanwhile, pulls out his gun, shoots the guy assaulting his wife.
Gosh.
And realizes that his wife had been stabbed multiple times by this man. That is the report given to the police. But the police come in and they start to realize not everything's adding up. First of all, he originally said that he was assaulting her on the bed, but the body of the wife, I believe, was on the floor. He had blood all over him in ways that couldn't be explained by the story he gave. And there were 2 calls to 911. There was a brief phone call where you just heard some low moaning, which if you listen to it, and I've listened to it, sounds like a man in pain. And there was also then 15 minutes later, a second 911 call where it's like, come quick. That was the au pair calling, Juliana. The lady I work for has been shot or been stabbed to death, and her husband shot the intruder. So the police do some investigation. They find out that there had been exchanges, and I believe that the husband actually found these and turned them over to the police. There had been exchanges on an adult website where it appeared that the wife had solicited on a BDSM website, had solicited this man to come and attack her.
Oh, do a consensual non-consent
yes.
scene.
A consensual non-consent scene. And in the exchanges, he was like, I don't know. We have never met. I'd really prefer to meet you in person. This sounds really dangerous. You're asking me to come to your home. You're married. This just sounds dangerous. If your husband were to come home. And she just keeps convincing him to come. She's like, no. My husband would never come home. Don't, this will work. Now, he told the police that she had in the past had a BDSM affair before. So this was not abnormal. However, in interviews with all of her friends, all of her family members, also in deep searches of her personal internet history on her laptop, which is where they found the initial conversations with this man, there were no other historical searches of her perusing BDSM websites,
right?
Of her perusing even porn that included stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, it appeared that she had no interest in that lifestyle from anything they found. And there was nothing on her phone. Like they looked at her phone, like up and down, nothing of that nature. And they start to suspect that the husband had actually
Set it up.
Then they end up arresting the husband and they end up arresting the au pair because when they went back for like 3 months after the murder of the wife, where she had been stabbed to death by her, supposed rapist that that her husband had heroically shot to death. They went back and checked. The au pair had clearly moved into the master bedroom. Family pictures had been replaced with pictures of the au pair with the husband and the little girl. And they were just like, something's wrong here. And they basically came to find out that the au pair and the husband had been having an affair. They had decided to try to get this man to come from the BDSM website, from this world, to do the consensual non-consent sexual encounter. And then he would be justified to murder him and then could kill her and say the man had killed her. And at first, Juliana, the au pair, stuck to the story that the husband told and said like exactly what he said, that she was going to the zoo. She came back to get her lunch because she forgot it, saw the man walking into the house and was alarmed. Like everything was the same. Then after she had been in jail for like a year or 6 months to a year, I don't remember the exact dates, she flipped and she decided to tell what she says is the true story. Now, the jury's in deliberation, and this is as of Sunday, February 1st. This will be published on Friday. I'm assuming that the verdict will have already come out by the time I talk about this. So we're kind of on a verdict watch, and if I get the verdict and I have time, I will add the verdict to the end of this episode, or maybe even like snip it in right after we talk about it.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Jeanette, and today is Tuesday, February 3rd, and I am snipping in a verdict update. We got a verdict yesterday on February 2nd in the murder trial where Brendan Banfield and his nanny, or his au pair, Juliana Perez Margalayesh, were accused of murdering Brendan's wife, Christine Banfield, and another man named Joseph Ryan. But first, a few other corrections. But a couple of things that I feel like I might have misspoken on. One of them is that Juliana was actually arrested a year before Brendan. Brendan is the husband, the one that stabbed his wife to death. But Juliana was arrested because she's the one that actually fired the shot that killed the supposed intruder, Joseph Ryan. So she was in jail, and Brendan Banfield's mother was paying her legal bills. When she turned on him, he insisted that it was her idea, that she's the one that initiated the affair. It was her idea to murder Christine Banfield, and she's the one that came up with the idea to set up the FetLife account, which was the account on the BDSM website. So I thought that was all pretty interesting. I don't think everyone's buying it, but he said that she was kind of the aggressor and the brains behind the operation. But during the trial, the prosecution read letters that she had written to Brendan and to Brendan's mother, who, remember, is footing the bill. And I don't know if it was letters to her mother or letters from her mother, but they had some conversations between Juliana and her mother in Brazil. And she told Brendan's mother that she would do anything for Brendan and that she was willing to take the blame for the both of them, that she was really in love with him. And then she would write to Brendan and say she wasn't going to take the fall for something she didn't do. And she was frustrated with how little time he was spending visiting her. And I think that the reality of it must have started to settle in with her, that she might actually spend her life in prison for this man. And eventually, with the encouragement of her mom, she decided that she was going to tell the truth, which was that Brendan came up with a plan to catfish Joseph Ryan, get him in the house, then they could kill Joseph Ryan and accuse him of stabbing Christine to death. So she took a plea deal. We don't know what her sentence will be other than it will include time served. And I read somewhere that she will be deported back to Brazil, but I also read somewhere that she could serve up to 10 years in prison. But the verdict announced yesterday after, I think the jury deliberated for 9 hours, was that he was found guilty on 2 counts of aggravated murder. He also was convicted on 1 count of using a firearm in commission of a felony and 1 count of child endangerment because he brought his, I think she was 4 years old at the time, child into the home where a supposed violent intruder was, and then proceeded to discharge a firearm. And by the way, there were two guns. It's like, so he shot Joseph Ryan, and then he told Juliana to get the gun out of the safe, and then she shot him and gave him the fatal shot. But also, like, one of the things that tipped off the police was that in the weeks before the murder, both Juliana and Brendan got new cell phones, and they both also had done like a bunch of shooting practice at a shooting range. So lots of suspect stuff, but happy that that case is wrapped up. I was convinced he was guilty, and I'm glad that he was found guilty. Glad the jury did their job and did it well, and we'll see what happens with Juliana. And I believe Juliana's sentencing hearing is February 20th, so we will chat more about that later. Now let's go back to Sunday and see what else my sisters and I had to say about this case and other things.
But I've been watching, like, just in the morning when I get up, I go to the live on TikTok.
Wow.
And I've just been like listening to the testimonies. And so I listened to Juliana's, like, a large part of her testimony, which was hours of her talking about the events. She's clearly flipped on him. So then his story changed after she flipped on him. And he started to say, well, okay, yes, I did have, well, it wasn't a full-blown affair. I did perhaps lead Juliana on in a way that made her jealous, and in a way
full-blown
that
affair.
would,
You moved her into your master bedroom, you idiot.
well, after. He said that happened after, but beforehand. Basically, he said that he possibly led her on in a way that would make her jealous and make her want to set up the murder of his wife so that she could be with him. Not realizing, so he's still claiming to be a victim and is now saying that this like 22-year-old Brazilian girl.
Yeah, what was the language in
masterminded
those
it.
emails? Because when English isn't your first language.
That's a really good point, Haley. And it was like, yeah, she clearly, when you hear her speak in testimony, English is her second language. She's good at English, but there would be grammatical mistakes. And while I didn't really read the exchanges, I guarantee you they were written by him. Yeah. And there was no record of any of these on his phone. It was like only on the laptop. It's just so questionable. Everything was questionable how it was done. Anyways, insane.
Okay, and wasn't he like before the murder happened, wasn't he like taking the au pair for like bikini wax appointments?
Oh, and like spa, like they were having a full-blown affair. Yeah, he was taking her for appointments to the spa. There were pictures of them together at like spas and hot tub saunaing. They were going on little adventures together all the time, like to the gym. She said they would go to the gym together all the time because that was something that she could go to the gym during the day and he could leave work and go to the gym and they could spend time together without the wife being suspicious. Ugh, but like her report of
Just
coming
get
in,
a flippin' divorce.
it's so awful. Well, it was money. He wanted custody of the daughter.
It's always money, but just get a divorce. You're going to go to jail.
He wanted custody of the daughter and he didn't want to have to give her alimony. But like it turns out, according to Juliana, he set up the plan. She went along with it. She was in love. I mean, she was wrong. I'm not like trying to excuse it, but she was very young and just like kind of in that stupid age of like older adolescence, like, you know, in your 20s where she thought that he was his life. And I think sitting in jail for several months, she started to realize like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking?
Maybe I don't want to be with a man who's willing to murder his wife.
Well, and she had then lived with him for like maybe almost a year before the police arrested her. And she said that she even started to realize in that time that he controlled everything, all the like financials. He, you know, held that he knew the full knowledge of the crime over her head. All of this stuff was held over her. And she started to like realize there were problems then. But she flipped, told her story. And like it lines up with the 2 911 calls where she said when she went in, the wife was still alive. The man was shot on the floor already. The husband was on top of the wife, stabbing her to death. She called 911 and he said he signaled to her to hang it up. So she hung it up. So all you heard was moaning of the guy, this poor guy they brought in.
Yeah, they were also willing to take another life in pursuit of this stupid relationship.
Well,
I mean,
and say what you want about like BDSM community. He was very clear in his emails that he was making sure it was consensual. He was really uneasy about going to her house. He wanted to meet her in advance.
That is being very responsible in that lifestyle, but this is not his fault in any way. I mean, just make sure you meet the person. Like this is an unfortunate lesson.
Yeah. I think that he tried to do everything right and was like talked out of it by
the husband.
by who he thought was the wife, but was the husband.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's been the most insane trial.
And that poor child who's like the
4 years
biggest
old.
victim in all of this, you know?
Yes.
Like, maybe not the biggest victim in all of this. Of course, the wife was stabbed to death and a poor man was murdered in pursuit of, you didn't want to pay alimony, you dumbass.
You wanted full custody.
Pay alimony, share custody of your child. That's the mother of your child. I'm so angry.
Yeah, as you should be, because it's awful. It's terrible.
It's really awful.
So that's been just totally, I'm anxiously awaiting the verdict, which I think we'll get maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. So by the time I post this on Friday, there should probably be a verdict.
I'm also pretty proud of you of keeping all of this to yourself so that you could present this at the FUF today.
Keep it to myself.
Because we always share so much.
I did my best to not share it with you guys because I wanted it to be a surprise, but it turns out you both had kind of heard about it. So maybe you are also keeping it to yourselves to talk about on the FUF.
Like a year or two ago, I think. Maybe like a year ago is the last time I even like followed it.
Oh yeah, well the trial was happening the last 2 weeks has been the trial.
So you updated me on a lot of stuff.
Yay.
Yeah, I've come upon it a few times, but I did not know all of that stuff. That's nuts. Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yes.
Well, I have an update for one of our episodes. Are we okay to pivot?
Yeah.
Okay, so I covered Hot Lake.
Yes, you did.
And-
excellently.
Thank you. And so Hot Lake was featured on Scariest Places on Earth, and a local family was on that episode. And the mother, Brenda, goes to the salon that I work at. She sees my coworker, Emily.
Did you talk to her?
I got to talk to Brenda, and she says that she was definitely pushed, and she definitely saw the apparition of a Native woman on the property.
Do you remember I said in the episode, Brenda would never, because you were like, was she pushed? Or someone said that. And I was like, Brenda would never do that.
No.
I knew it.
And she even demonstrated on me, and it was pretty strong. It was a pretty strong push. She's like, this is what I felt. And she like shoved me to the ground, and then she laughed at me. No, I'm just kidding. Brenda would never do that.
Brenda would never do that.
But she did demonstrate on me, and it was a pretty strong shove.
Oh my gosh. I'm not surprised. It's a,
Yeah.
you know what? It's
She stands
interesting
by it.
that she saw a Native woman, because I've always thought how tragic it is that was such a sacred spot. Like many hot springs are to, like, historically speaking, Brighton Bush, this hot springs here. I'm sure there's others. They're not coming to mind, but we're so like sacred, like places of healing and of gathering and of peace before they were kind of like,
Well, that's exactly what the
Taking
hot spring
over.
and healing, and like a neutral spot for, like, you know, two tribes weren't getting along, and it was a neutral spot for them to like resolve their differences and everything. So
yeah.
yeah.
That's really amazing. Wow.
Yeah, it
Thank
was-
you, Brenda, for
Thank you,
the update.
Brenda. I hope you listen.
I did have a few people tell me they were going to write in with updates, and they have not yet. If you are that person or people, go ahead.
Send that email. We want to hear from you.
Send it on in.
This is a good segue for send that email. We have a listener email.
Oh, yes. Yes. I haven't read it yet. I did not check our email, so I did not read it.
was hoping neither of you would read it so that I could just tell both of you cold.
It's all you, Haley.
Finally, it's me. Okay. All right. So here is the email. Dear Spooky Sisters, you've asked for spooky stories a few times, and I've decided to write in. Maybe this is what you're asking for, maybe not.
It is.
Whether this makes it on the podcast or not, thank you for reading, and this story is brief. Whether this was an incident with a darker meaning or not, I know my 12-year-old heart felt so scared. My family was on vacation and staying at a hotel. I was with my sisters and mom in a sauna, and one of my older sisters left. And then in parentheses, they say, Haley, I'm also the youngest of a sister trio.
Oh,
Hey, girl.
Wait.
lucky.
After a while, I decided to leave for the room as well, and my mom and other sisters stayed. I made my way to our room, no key, and began to knock on the door, thinking my sister would answer right away. She didn't. I assumed she was just being a butthead, and I started to knock harder and said, "Open the door, you jerk. I know you're in there." At this same time, an older man, at least in his 40s, was being let into his room. He had a bellhop type of guy with him, which I clocked as weird because our family never asked for help to our room, and he had only one small suitcase. I resumed knocking, and the guy stood there staring at me for a long time before he went into his room. At that moment, a voice I didn't recognize came from the other side of the door saying, "Can I help you?" I bolted down the hall and ducked under a coffee table to hide my embarrassment. I had a view of the older man's lower door and saw it open, seeing just his ankles and shoes. I then heard him exclaim, "Bummer, bummer, bummer," and shut the door. That man's behavior just made me feel sick to my stomach. I returned to the sauna where my mom and sister were still hanging out. I don't remember if I told them about the man, but I did tell them that I had gotten our room number confused, and I stayed with them until they were done. I'm now in my 40s, and that incident still makes me feel creepy. Not because I was relentlessly harassing someone in their hotel room, but that man's strange reaction to opening his door to an empty hallway. Thanks for reading,
Oh my gosh.
Anonymous.
That's so scary. So it sounds like the man was like, noticed that a little, how did it say how old the girl was?
She said she was 12.
So, like saw this 12-year-old girl stuck out in the hallway and was like, thought he missed his chance. Like a predator of some kind? Thought he missed his chance?
Like maybe clocked it, but that bellhop person was there, and then
Thank heavens.
they left, and also thank goodness that the other person on the other side of the door said, "Can I help you?" Or what did they say? Yeah, "Can I help you?" And they realized it wasn't their sister, and so they bolted.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
You guys, that happened to me in France.
Wait, what?
I mean,
You were almost kidnapped?
no, I didn't get kidnapped, but I left the room that we were hanging out in and went up to my room to grab something. And then when I came back down, I got on the wrong floor and started knocking incessantly on a door.
Oh no.
Oh.
And I woke, it was like 2 a.m. and I woke some poor guy up and he was on the other side. And I thought it was Jordan and his brother teasing me.
Oh no, Emily.
And so I was like, they were like asking in French who it was. And I was like, "Je suis la Emily." And he opened the door and I just went, "Shit."
Why didn't you say merde?
Merde. I should have. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And then I went down to the right room and I was just mortified. It was,
Oh my
It
God.
was so mortifying. I woke some poor man up.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Emily, I'm so sorry. I would be mortified, and I'm sure I've done something like that. I can't think of a time I have, but I'm sure I have.
Me too.
No, you're perfect. You both are, and you've never done anything wrong.
Ever.
Never, ever.
Hey, I haven't been to France, so I haven't even had an opportunity to do that. You both have.
We both have. I didn't knock on any wrong doors in France,
But you did see a ghost. You did see a ghost in France?
I did. No. I saw a ghost in Italy.
Oh, never mind.
It was
We'll
when
save
we
that.
were in,
We'll save that
Venice.
for our Italian episode. Just kidding. Wait, what was did this person leave a name?
So
Are they anonymous?
no. They just said thanks for reading, anonymous.
Oh,
and
wow.
so I mean, it just sounds like the thing that stuck with this person was the man's reaction, like bummer, 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 and
Yeah, that's creepy.
it's just creepy.
Yeah, ew.
That's creepy. Why
Yeah.
would they, like, what else could he mean? I mean, he could have meant bummer, bummer, the bellhop's gone. I wanted to grab something, but it sounds like he stopped and looked at that little girl for a long time.
While the bellhop person left, probably. It's not like bellhops stick around being like, "Oh, you're just standing here in this hallway."
Predators, you never know.
Well, anonymous, I'm glad that you're okay, and it's just a creepy memory, but yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yes. Thank you for writing in, and write in more stories if you have any more
Yeah.
stories, dear anonymous youngest of 3 sisters.
Yes. I also understand what it's like.
To be loved by 2 older sisters.
You're so lucky. You're so lucky, dear anonymous youngest of 3 sisters.
And you guys are loved by 2 sisters too.
Yeah.
So
Well, do you have something else, or I have something if you don't?
yes,
Okay,
go.
so we talked in our last episode about becoming a cryptozoologist. And while Emily tried to quiet me from saying this, I said it anyway. You cannot get a degree in cryptozoology.
Not yet.
So literally, so your comparison of saying you can't just call yourself like a budding psychologist, like, of course not, because that's like a
I call myself a
degree.
budding psychologist all of the time.
Oh, well, I guess you can say anything out loud. I'm a doctor.
I'm a dancer.
There are certain things where you get to, if just by practicing them, you get to call yourself that. For example, a dancer. I dance every day, damn it. Actually, my dance teacher during my years when I was teaching Zumba, she said, look at you. You're actually a professional dancer right now. This is our dance teacher that we all grew up with.
I do her hair now.
Yeah.
And she came to one of my Zumba classes and I was like, oh, no, I'm not. And she was like, look, are you making money doing this? Are you dancing? You're a professional dancer. And it actually really stuck with me that I could actually call myself. I was using a skill that I had. Well, I never considered myself a great dancer. I mean, I actually was decent and I studied it for years.
Hey, you
For
were
years and
such
years
a
and
fun
years.
Zumba teacher.
Thank you. I had so much fun
was
teaching
so much
Zumba
fun.
for those years I taught it. It was a blast. And thanks for supporting me and coming to my classes. It was just fun. And so I don't know. I wonder, cryptozoology, you can get certifications, but it is to become a cryptozoologist, you typically self-study and gain expertise in mainstream biology, zoology, or anthropology. As it's not a formal academic field, focusing on researching cryptids like Bigfoot, Nessie, or learning field investigation skills like evidence analysis, interviewing, documentation, and applying scientific methods to folklore, often through related degrees, so you can get related degrees, zoology, wildlife biology, you can build credibility and research skills. So basically, you become a cryptozoologist just by studying the field. So I think calling ourselves budding cryptozoologists, I said baby. I will admit, I said baby at first, and I think you didn't like that
get
term.
it right.
But I think calling ourselves budding cryptozoologists is absolutely applicable and correct. We're learning.
That's an example of the youngest sister.
Listen, I'm sorry that I said you couldn't call us that. And you were right. And you're always right.
And that's an example of the oldest sister shaming two younger sisters, and then the youngest sister bullying the oldest sister, and then the middle sister succumbing?
Telling
Just bullying of the oldest?
Doing that
placating.
middle child thing, trying to placate everybody.
You heard it
didn't
here
hear any of
first.
what you said, Nitty.
I said placating. When she said succumbing, I said no, placating. Because I knew you weren't succumbing. You were ready to move on. Yeah, I know.
Still is.
Sure thing. Whatever you want.
I've had this on my list since we had this conversation on the last episode.
I love it. We are cryptozoologists.
I looked it up too that same day. I literally did. There are degree mills that you can get a cryptozoology degree from that are not accredited universities, and it's fake.
Are we going to print off our own diplomas?
I think it's kind of like you can become a minister and marry people just by applying on the internet, which I've done. I think you've done as well.
Yeah,
You've
I
married
officiated
people.
a wedding. Yeah.
I've only officiated weddings that nobody knows about. There's people walking around that are married that don't even know it because I officiated them in my head.
Nice.
That's not true.
I'm just kidding. I mean, it kind of is, but they don't know. It's not official if they
Hey,
don't know.
Nettie, you're right. That's an example of me placating. Okay. Anyways, moving on.
So I think that we are now budding cryptozoologists. I stand by it. And I dare anyone to challenge us, and challenge us by emailing us at thespookydarlings@gmail.com. We'll read your challenge on the pod.
Maybe.
If we like it.
No, we'll read it. If anyone dares to email us about that,
No, we'll read it.
challenging
We
us-
just might not read it on the pod.
we'll read it on the pod.
Why are you making promises?
Okay, you're right. We might. Haley, you had something else.
Oh, just sad news. Catherine O'Hara,
Oh, Moira Rose,
our lovely Catherine O'Hara, Moira Rose, Beetlejuice,
Mitch and Mindy, and From a Mighty Wind. Was it Mitch
a mighty,
and
a mighty wind.
It was so good.
All
Love
of
that
those.
show.
What was the director?
There's Christopher Guest.
Christopher Guest. All those Christopher Guest movies. She was
Kiss
so
It.
wonderful.
Kiss at the End of the Rainbow. Mm-hmm. And I got to watch, because I just got into this Catherine O'Hara, deep dive when she died. Just so much of my feed, I just started to look up. Did you know that she gave John Candy's eulogy?
No.
And so I listened to her whole eulogy about John Candy, which was so beautiful. And then the comments were just I hope Eugene Levy gets to do the same for her. And then there was like a clip of her accepting an award like this fall. I feel like it was in September of 2025 where she just said to Eugene Levy that when she thinks about her career, her happiest and most joyful moments have been creating with him, and thanked him. And he stood there. And then I sent you guys that clip of them like from the 70s.
Yes, I loved that.
So good.
Did you see the one where somebody came up to her and they were like, Catherine O'Hara, you're my favorite actress in the world. What is the role you want to most be remembered by? And she didn't even miss a beat. She was like, mother to my children?
Yes. Oh, and she was so cute because she was like, yeah, right. When he was like, you're my favorite actress ever. She's like,
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
yeah, right. She's like, no, for real, for real. She's like, oh, okay.
Oh,
She was so
humble.
And that's what everyone said. She was just like humble, self-deprecating, and just had the most infectious laugh.
yeah. She's just
Did
so
you guys know
wonderful.
that she had that rare genetic disorder where her organs were flipped? So her heart was on the opposite side of her body.
71 just seems so young.
Yeah. Yeah, she was a favorite. I loved her so much. I cried when I just went down a little rabbit hole too of watching clips and tributes, and it was touching, and I loved her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
And I think one like kind of magical thing of these people who like touch so many lives, and like it's not, of course, Catherine O'Hara like never knew us, but we know her and we love her so much, and like we can still like see her doing her thing on screen and
so
just
lucky.
being wonderful and amazing, and it's kind of also like really lucky the time that we live in that we get to have that like with people who do pass on that are in our lives.
Who still has their Catherine O'Hara candle?
Me.
I have mine
I
too.
bought all three of us. I do.
Yes, you got it for all of us. You guys, we should it's a full moon tonight. We should just light them tonight, like all of us.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, let's do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
What a lovely, lovely woman.
Yeah. She'll be remembered for, gosh, a really, really long time.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Haley.
Oh,
It's a
thanks.
good thing to bring up. Well, I have one more thing. This has already passed, and I meant to bring this up at our last FUF, but I'm going to bring it up now. Did you guys know that we would have had a chance, had we been on top of it at our last FUF a couple weeks ago, to audition for the Olympics? No. And I think tryout is the word I meant to say, not audition.
Okay.
For the handball.
What kind of costumes would we have worn?
Handball costumes. So I follow this creator on TikTok. Her name's like Coach Jackie, and she does women's sports. And I'm not even like that much into sports, but this TikTok creator has got me so excited about all women's sports because she tells it in such a dynamic way. But apparently, if you're the country hosting the Olympics, even if you don't have a team that regularly does that sport, you can create one and represent. So the U.S. has never had a handball team. And handball is an Olympic sport, so they were just holding auditions for for the U.S. handball team, and they were just
and help me out. Is handball? Is it what I'm thinking? It's like racquetball, but you don't have a racket; you just hit it with your hand.
I think so.
Yeah, maybe. I believe it's something like that. Kind of like, Emily, don't ask me the details of the sport. Just know that we missed a chance to join.
I was almost an Olympian that
We
day.
were so close. If I had only remembered 2 weeks ago at our last FUF recording, we could have been Olympic contenders.
Those athletic sisters. That's what people always say about us.
Oh my gosh! At work, there's a like really tall cabinets, and we keep the toilet paper and paper towels on top. And instead of getting the ladder out, sometimes I just grab a broomstick and knock one down and catch it. And I was knocking one down and it almost fell, and I caught it. And I just immediately was like, oh my gosh, I'm an athlete. And then I looked over and somebody else was in the room, and they just started laughing because I wasn't really thinking, and I just
Honestly, I'm impressed with that, though. I would agree with you.
It was left-handed. It was like it didn't fall the way I thought, and I still caught it. It didn't hit anybody. I was like, I saved the world.
Everybody.
Yes, and some butts.
It was just instinctual, you guys. You'll understand someday.
It's like you're going to be... You're going to be picked first when they pick teams for the apocalypse. Whoever's team captain is picking you first.
Oh, I bet not.
Well, second.
Depends on the job, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Well, anything else, anyone?
The nearly Olympian sisters.
Oh my gosh, we came so close. We came so close. It's been so fun, though. I really recommend going to Coach Jack. I believe it's Coach Jackie on TikTok. Why don't I double check real quick right now?
Okay.
She does the most exciting coverage about a topic that I'm just not that interested in. She's amazing.
Is she flipping you into a sportster?
I mean, maybe not an athlete. There she is. Coach Jackie. Coach Jackie.
All right, Coach Jackie.
Yes. She does. I mean, she just tells the most inspiring stories, and they're so exciting. It's weird because, yes, women have been able to play sports for years. But if you remember, like our high school Spanish teacher was not allowed to run track in high school because it was for boys only. It was only in was it in the early 80s or late 70s that a woman had to register under a pseudonym for the Boston Marathon, and then men tried to push her off the course.
Run her off the course.
She had to have a circle of her husband and his friends and other athletes around her to protect her so she could finish. And did you know that she just ran it again in the last Boston Marathon? She just ran it again. Yes,
Crazy. That's so
Good
cool.
for her.
like so many years later, as like a super fit
Amazing.
lady. Like it's weird because I think that to like my kids. To young people these days, they don't understand that this is a newer right than it seems. And so I like that and even though it's newer, it's like still not given the same credit and glory that men's sports are. And you hear men talk about it, not all men, but a lot of men like, well, it's just not as interesting. It's just not as competitive.
Some men. Yeah, sometimes men are disparaging about it.
But it is so exciting. I got really into the basketball. Caitlin.
Oh, yeah. She was,
Caitlin Basketball Face.
Yes, Caitlin Basketball Face, and then Angel Reese. I remember Angel Reese's name, but then there was like Caitlin, like they were all college basketball players, and it was so exciting. And then they all are now pro basketball players,
Yeah.
and it's still just super interesting.
It's Caitlin Clark, not Caitlin Basketball Face. I will correct you right now so I don't have to correct you in the next episode.
correcting us.
Caitlin Clark. It's just been fun. And Coach Jackie, like it's just, I guarantee you, even if you're not a sports person, if you listen to Coach Jackie, you're going to just be so inspired by the way she reports on women's sports.
You're going to start wearing a baseball hat backwards.
She's so cute too. She's adorable.
Yeah.
Yes, Coach Jackie. Everyone, follow her.
Okay, so last time I talked about, I was watching the evil influencer Jody Hildebrandt story.
Yes, you were.
So I will say not a ton of new information. Like it is pretty much everything that they've covered from the viewpoint of like covering Ruby Frankie more,
Right.
you know.
Mommy Doomsday, was that what it was? Or no, Mommy Doomsday was Lori Vallow.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, that's Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell. But Jody Hildebrandt and Ruby Frankie, not too far off from them. Just they didn't murder. But
Right.
not a ton of new information, but like definitely a couple of things about Jody that I didn't know. Like when right after she was arrested and she was like defending herself to the cops, she said to them that she would never allow, quote, that boy to be around other kids. To the cops immediately with all of his injuries and this poor starving sister in her flippin' basement.
I know it makes me so mad because that's actually why that poor kid had to was not allowed to live with the rest of his siblings and had to be separated because of false allegations that Ruby and Jody made because by law, if the allegations are made, they have to like take them seriously until a full investigation is done.
Yeah.
So that poor abused kid
Was further abused and victimized by his abusers who were in prison.
I hate them.
Yeah.
It's so awful.
Ruby and Jody are
awful.
evil people. It was a good documentary though, but I would just say like if you followed it pretty closely, you're not going to glean much more information than what you already have. You know, I mean, I don't know if you call it mental illness or just like maybe like a religious fever.
I think
or
it's like a
something.
zealotry almost.
Yes,
that came,
zealotry.
I feel like her husband actually, as brainwashed as he was, he kind of pointed it out. He said as soon as that first paycheck came in, there was a change.
Yeah.
And it became something like she really had that kind of delusion of grandeur that she was special and had a special calling and felt that, and that it was like to influence the masses. And so she made a ton of money for a while. And then as soon as she started getting criticized, when they found out that she had made her son sleep on a beanbag for 8 months or something, and she started to get villainized, people were like, what? Oh my gosh, that's not okay parenting. She just doubled down because it was then she couldn't be told what to do. Because up until then, it had been almost all positive feedback about her parenting. And, oh my gosh, your family's the cutest. I love your family. It's the best. And she couldn't handle the criticism. She hadn't gotten it really.
Right. Well, if you listening to her phone calls in jail, she's quoting Bible verses or scripture or whatever and being like, they said that this would happen. And she's like, that's me. That's us. That's me and Jody. It just fervently believing that it's just, ugh. And the documentary did get a little more, it interviewed couples who had been clients to Jody.
Yeah.
And one of them, the wife, she just talks about her point of view and how just everything Jody said was just she's like, I went from following one leader, meaning the Mormon church. I think that she may have left the Mormon church at this point. I don't know for sure. But she's like, I went from fervently believing in one thing and following everything that thing says to the T to Jody was my new prophet.
Yes.
But have you guys been watching anything?
I watched the first season of Man on the Inside. It was
so
really fun.
I haven't seen it yet. Is it good? Because
Yeah.
Brent and I just realized we finished Pluribus, and we were like, oh, that's the end? Now we have to wait till season 2? So we started White Lotus season 3.
You would like Man on the Inside. It's Ted Danson.
Oh, yeah, we'd like that.
We're watching Fallout. We're on season 2. It's a fun one. It's really good.
Brent watched it without me, so I can't watch it with him.
Maybe Jason would watch Fallout with me. We tried Pluribus and Jason didn't care for it.
I struggled through some of it. Some of those episodes where she doesn't encounter anybody and she's just by herself, they're pretty slow moving. And I think I find that in any cinematic experience where it's a solo point of view without any interaction, it's hard. It's a hard slog.
I just think that it had to almost be that way to really highlight her loneliness and desperation, to the point where she was was able to lower her pride, because we see her painting on the street, but we don't know what she's painting until the very end of that episode when they do the aerial view.
Hey, whoa, hey.
Oh, spoiler.
Yeah.
Never mind. I won't say it. I won't say it.
Who's the spoiler now?
Oh, as Oliver would say, how the turntables.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
ladies, I think this was a great episode.
I have
we
a fun
more?
fact.
Oh, okay, fun fact.
Oh, yeah.
You know the board that detectives use when they're connecting the dots and they have the red string?
Yes, the Ouija board.
No.
Just kidding. yes, I know what you're talking about.
Originally, it was called a crazy board.
That is a fun fact, and I did not know that.
Yay!
Is it still called a crazy board? It feels
I
like
think
it
they
might
call it the evidence board
should be.
now or something like that. But crazy board. Yeah.
I love it.
Yes. Well, thank you to everyone who has entered our tote bag drawing and our promotion for a free Spooky Darling sticker and a tote bag. We're going to do the drawing right now. Emily, are you doing it or are you doing it? Who's doing the drawing?
I'm okay either way.
You have the list of names, right, Emmy?
Yeah.
Okay, Amy, you're doing
Okay,
it.
she's entering the names into ChatGPT and asking ChatGPT to randomly select one.
Okay, please select one of these names at random for a drawing. I've got everybody typed in here. Go.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Who is it? Drummer roll.
Chance.
Chance.
Chance. He's the one that listens with his wife.
Chance, you are the winner of our Spooky Darlings tote bag drawing, and we will send that to you in the next we'll probably just send it straight. We have his address because I sent him the sticker, so we'll send it straight to him from our ordering site. And Hopefully he will receive it.
Yes. And
Yeah.
and thank you to everyone who has entered this promo. It was so fun to get emails and like personal messages from listeners. And we still have stickers left. So we have decided that if you send us an email and just let us know that you have rated or reviewed our show, that we will still send you a sticker. Is that what we decided?
Yeah.
And don't forget your address in the email.
Yes.
Because we need it to send it to
Send you the sticker. And we promise that we will not be using your address for anything other than sending you the sticker. You will not receive any additional promo materials from us, and we are not selling your address to anyone else. I just realized that people might be nervous about that, and we never talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's smart to mention
It's
that.
just for us. It's just for us,
Yeah,
guys.
we literally will send you your sticker and then forget your address.
We're really not sophisticated enough to steal anything.
And
Yes.
we're tired.
We
We are really tired.
First of all, we're in our 40s. We're not that computer savvy. Second of all, we're so sleepy.
So sleepy.
But we're so, so grateful for everyone who's entered and written us reviews. They've been so fun to read. And so now since we still have stickers left, we're just going to, I think until we run out of stickers,
Yeah.
if you send us a screenshot of your rating or review, we will send you a sticker. Right? Or just
Yeah.
review
We'll
or
just
rating.
keep this going as long as you all wish.
Listen,
as long as we have the stickers.
if you're taking the time to leave a rating, you may as well just write a quick review. And if you're on Spotify, it's just the same thing as a comment or a rating. Comment on any episode.
Yeah.
Comment on any episode.
Yes. Yeah. Spotify is different, but if you comment on an episode, just send us a screenshot of that,
Yes.
and we appreciate it.
And honestly, guys, if you just email us with your address, we'll probably send you a sticker.
Yes. Listen, we'll announce it when we run out, or maybe we'll order more. I don't know. I love sending stickers to fans. It's been a lot of fun to mail those out.
Yes. Thank you, Emily, for being the one to do that. We put all of that on one sister. She's done a great job. So
And if you ever need to pass that burden on, I'm next.
Thanks again, everyone, for listening. Thank you for those of you that participated in our promo for the Spooky Darlings tote bag drawing and got our stickers and gave us wonderful ratings and reviews. We will be back soon, and we'll see you next Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for
See
our
you
next
Tuesday.
episode. All right, stay spooky. Goodbye.
Bye.
5 stars.
Before we disappear into the shadows, don't forget, we're still sending out vinyl stickers. Leave us a rating and review and email us proof to thespookydarlings@gmail.com, along with your mailing address, and we'll send you some spooky snail mail while supplies last. And if your heart is still mourning that tote bag, may we gently tempt your way toward our merch store at thespookydarlings.printful.me. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Thanks for listening. And as always, stay spooky.